All right, it is 6 o'clock and I'm calling the meeting to order. It's the Pawlet Public Library Board of Trustees regular meeting, Tuesday, September 9th. Welcome everybody. First item is to review our operating norms.
Do you want me to read it or do you want to read it?
I can read it, okay. Unless you want to.
No, I just had it here.
Okay. As a board, we will focus on agenda topics, be open-minded, respect each other, value different viewpoints, be responsive and responsible to our community with reference to the strategic plan, make decisions based on data and facts, listen to each other, be reflective, and run meetings that respect time, have concise agendas, and are transparent. Next, addition or deletion of agenda items. Now, this agenda was really ambitious. I noted to the board that we were putting things on in an effort to not let things fall off, but I would like to see if we can move some things to our next meeting just for time for this.
Chair, I'm happy to, I don't know if anybody else has any discussion about the Library Transforming Communities grant, but I'm happy to table that if that was something that was on my list, because we kind of discussed it. We discussed it when we moved toward the MERP grant.
Right, I have one feedback from that, was the select board told us to go to the Vermont Department of Society for Preservation Society. Yeah, that was our next step.
Okay, then we can discuss it then.
Okay, then it should be brief. Okay.
But and to talk about that further, I think we could take off the discussion of the MERP project, because I haven't received any. I haven't gone to a meeting. I haven't heard from Jessica yet, so I'm assuming that would be more appropriate when we have something to discuss.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So we'll just a brief one for that. Okay, so we will delete number 14 and number 15. We are not, don't have those, use for those. So that would take, and let's see. I guess that is fair. Does that sound? And then I guess we should all just be mindful of time. Okay, so do I have a motion to amend the agenda or approve the agenda as amended with deletion of number 12, 14, and 15?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have an approved agenda. Thank you. Next is public comments, and we do have quite a few people in the audience. I'm looking for a show of hands to see how many people would like to speak. I see 1, 2, 3. Sorry?
I also have several letters that I was asked to read.
Okay.
Well, how many?
I believe 4. One was from Martha and Bob, so I assume Bob's going to read that.
Okay.
So I guess just 3. 4.
4, and then, again, sorry, were there 3 or 4 in the audience? Oh, there were 3 in the audience, and then that was 4. Okay. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. Hopefully we can get through everyone in those 10 minutes. Let's start. Anybody want? Lucy? I'm sorry, can you just...
My name is Lucy Norman.
Pawlet?
I live in West Pawlet.
Okay.
You'll excuse me if I make one little announcement. We've just learned that some people are running out of water. So if you know of anyone who's running out of water, please contact Bob Morlino, because wells are running dry because we haven't had enough rain.
Thank you. Oh, and I just actually wanted to remind everybody, the public comment, we will be hearing from the public. It's not a back and forth, so just want to be mindful of that, and that will help time issue as well. So thank you, Lucy, for that notice.
I wanted to commend the board for the work you've been doing in the last year and a half, I guess. From what I understand, you've worked very hard on a lot of different policies and procedures. And I guess I would like to also remind you why you did that, so that you could avoid problems that had been happening in the future, in the past, so that you would avoid them in the future. I would also like you to search for and embrace your greater angels, and as you continue with your work here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Next.
Bob's over here.
Okay, sorry, but Bob, okay, Bob.
Okay, Bob Shortman, and I'd like to read this comment from me and my wife, Martha. And there is gossip around town that the previous library director, who was fired in November 2023, and who is currently engaged in a lawsuit against the town of Pawlet, and the prior director, board chair of the Board of Library Trustees. The gossip is that she has submitted an application for the current opening of a part-time library director. Now, if the gossip has any basis in fact, we are hoping there is an alternative choice available to you. We would like to see the Pawlet Public Library move forward rather than backward. Our vision for the future includes a library director who can work congenially and in a trustworthy manner with the current staff, loyal volunteers and residents of our town and surrounding towns who are devoted patrons and financial supporters of the library. If such a person is not among your new applicants for the position, we would suggest that Adele and Nina be appointed and supported by the board as co-administrators of the library until the lawsuit has been settled, whether through mediation or in court. All parties to the lawsuit are entitled to their day in court, and if you select the previous library director at this juncture, you are in essence leapfrogging over the legal process. Adele and Nina have done an outstanding job since November 2023 and before. They oversee a huge monthly circulation, both our library books and those obtained through the interlibrary loan. And they initiate and publicize programs that appeal to the varied interest and age in this community. There was a great one yesterday. Saturday. Okay. They have been successful in their efforts to be inclusive and have created an atmosphere where all feel welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there something else I was going to share? I guess I gotta go.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Phoebe and Joanne, did you have public comment to make? Just checking. No, okay.
My turn next. My name is Arana Heidi, and I'm from Danby. And I moved here 3 years ago from Brattleboro, which has a tremendously great library, and it's very welcoming and very inclusive of all kinds of people. You go to that library and homeless people, mentally ill people, people with handicaps are there. They do a tremendous job. And I knew when I moved here that it was going to be really hard to find a library that would meet my needs. And I knew it would take more than one library. And the Danby Library does not have a public library. I'm a really big supporter of public libraries that are open to all of the public. And and this is actually probably the nearest public library to my home. And the Danby Library is only open 6 hours a week. I love that library. So I made the rounds and I came here when the previous director, I knew no one. And I felt really belittled and demeaned by the previous director who was here. And I've never had that experience before. And I've had experiences, I've met maybe a few librarians that were unwelcoming and cold. And I can handle that. It's not ideal, but that's acceptable to me. It wouldn't be a reason to stop coming. But my encounter made me feel so demeaning that I refused to come back here until the director had been dismissed. And I don't want to be here having to share publicly I just don't want to go back to that kind of past. I've come to love this library, and I just feel like it's important to move forward. For me, anyone would be better to just move forward, any new director, than going back to an old past and old controversy. Ideally, I would like a director to be compatible with Nina and with Adele and just with the library staff, that we move to something harmonious. I think there's public sentiment from people I've spoken to that is what's most important, that we move into a place of harmony rather than back to division. And ideally, whoever's hired would be someone who could bridge that division. So I wrote a whole long thing, which I haven't been reading at all.
I'm sorry. That wasn't your...
And this isn't what I prepared, but I have something that I prepared that will maybe be emailed to you, and that Adele has a copy of. But I did have a few questions, which is why, if there's such and I'm not sure if they would be able to be answered, but I have wondered why, if there's such a large pool of candidates, are only 2 being interviewed. And I also have wondered why Adele and Nina aren't being included in the decision-making process. And I've also wondered, because I've been in other hiring situations, and usually at this stage where people are being interviewed, you're allowed to know who the candidates are. It doesn't have to be kept confidential, and the candidates are allowed to visit the library or meet with people to get more of a well-rounded view. So I was wondering why it's all being kept so secretive and controversial. And I think I've maybe covered enough of what I wanted to say, or I'll come back again. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Grace.
This is from Melissa. Hello, my name is Melissa, and I, like so many others, love the Pawlet Library. It is a special place where people of all ages can feel welcomed, relaxed, and learn. Let's keep it that way. It has come to my attention that a prior employee is being considered for the position of director. With so much turmoil, drama, and bad vibes in the past, I feel this would be a huge mistake. As a library and community, it's important to move forward, not backwards. Rehiring a tainted director would surely keep the bad taste and bad press that has surrounded the library for too long. Please do what is right and move forward by starting a new chapter that the library deserves. Hire a fresh new director that can help the library grow and improve, not someone who has contributed to destroying the integrity and welcoming atmosphere of such a special spot for the community. The library would surely suffer by dredging up the past. It's important to put the egos aside and do what is best for the library as a whole. It deserves to heal. Thank you for reading this on my behalf.
And I didn't catch
What's her name and where's she?
Melissa
Melissa.
from, it's Melissa Rabbit, I know.
Melissa Akjar.
Where's she from?
Pawlet.
This is from Roscoe Stark. Dear fellow community members, I couldn't make it tonight and haven't been to any of the meetings or library in a very long time, besides meeting with Slate Valley Action. I'll be transparent and share that I began to grow more and more discomfort from the tensions of the past.
Grace, I'm sorry, can you just speak up a little bit, please?
Regardless of this, I've been observing from afar the effort and love all of you have been putting into work past the difficulties. and felt it was necessary to take this opportunity to say thank you and remind you all that what drives you is the same thing, love for community. I genuinely appreciate that you weathered all the storms and know it gives you experience to work through the inevitable storms to come. Regardless of preparations, I am really interested in contributing with my art and have multiple paintings I'd be happy to hang up as my contribution and token thanks. This is from Sarah Aubrey. Greetings. I am a recent transplant from Boston, where I was a card-carrying patron of the Boston Public Library, as well as my local town library. I design books for a living, now retired, and have a lifelong interest in learning. When we moved here, one of the first things we did was join our local library and to explore the other town libraries here in southern Vermont. Why? Because the public library is the heartbeat of the community, a hub of positive, vibrant experiences and learning, a place to help build and sustain community. The library should be guided by someone with vision, empathy, and positive energy, and I think the board is capable of finding the right fit. Good luck. This is from Judy Coolidge. Dear ladies of the Pawlet Library Board, I have been remiss about not contacting you earlier about the upcoming library director position. I am happy to hear you have had several applications and have been able to narrow them down to a couple. I have chosen to try and remain neutral about what transpired in the past, but I feel the need to encourage you to move forward and choose a candidate who will help the town heal and come together once again. The negative press and the division between neighbors have been so upsetting and not the Pawlet we have always known and loved. In addition, it is very concerning with the high costs of everything these days. The taxpayers may be faced with additional legal and insurance increases, which is totally unfair. As you all know, I have long-time Pawlet roots. I love this town and its people, and I know each of you does as well, and are as eager as anyone to move on. The library is the jewel of the town. We love seeing all the activity there. It's just a happy place. Let's continue all the good things it has to offer. I want to say thank you to each of you, Joni and Grace for sticking with it, and Corey, Lauren, and Sue for coming on board during this difficult time. Being a public servant is not an easy job, and I truly appreciate all you are trying to do. Thank you also for taking my words into consideration. Best regards and in friendship, Judy Coolidge.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have an action to approve the August 12th meeting minutes. I figured I changed that from secretary's report just because that's what we were doing, so.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, do we have a second? To approve the minutes?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the minutes? No? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay, we have approved those minutes. Thank you. Thanks, Grace. And now we are on to the treasurer's report. Lauren.
I hope everyone was able to receive the warrant that I sent yesterday.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll just pass it around and let me know if you have any questions about it. And at the same time, I don't have anything to discuss about the budget update, but I did do a little overview on the book sale with the expenses and the revenue. And I can make copies for everybody, but I wrote it out here. Actually, I will make copies and give them all to you. But in total, the expenses were $1,209.22, and the revenue, including another print that we sold of Lucy Norman's for $30, was $13,049.72. So there was a net gain of $11,840.50. And, you know, there could be a few expenses that might be missing, but I think this is generally taken from the warrants. It should be pretty accurate. Good. Does anybody have any questions about that? You want to pass that around? And I think that in regard... I mean, one thing that isn't noted on there is just the enormous amount of hours that are donated by volunteers of the town than they have for years, and it's a huge Herculean effort, and it really does show. I think it's not just a supportive community, and it was really something to be in awe of. I think that, hearing about the print that was sold this month, I think it would be a good idea to have an itemization of the prints that remain and how much they cost, because
Oh, yeah.
it just was, I didn't know,
You mean like
I know, yeah. do we-
potential future revenue? in
Yeah,
those?
exactly.
Okay.
I just think it'd be a good idea to have those, to have an account of what we have, and when we sell them, we can mark them off. I think it's just a good idea, so.
That makes sense. Linda, I think you see.
I just wanted to say that the last meeting, full meeting you had a month ago,
Yeah.
I did not know how much the prints that Lucy had done and how much we'd sold. It was $300 worth of her prints and pictures that sold, as opposed to, I think I said 160 or something.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
it's
great.
$300 worth.
And do you know what remains then, or how much? No.
I think.
$300.
And do we know how many we started with? I guess that would be, Lucy, do you have an idea of how many we started?
I don't, but I know where they are and I can count.
And are they're priced individually, right, from the
They are.
sale, so?
Yes.
That would be great. So I'm assuming it was a single $30 print that was sold,
Yes,
right?
it was.
Yeah. So, great job, everybody. I mean, really tremendous.
That does not include the checks that we're sending to people, like the custodians and the 4-H and...
Okay, so that's not something that I did, or that wasn't done through me.
Vote on that last time? Did we vote on that last time?
Oh, so I then need to ask you how much and who to send it to, because I don't, for
Oh,
whatever
okay,
reason
that's from the minutes, then that's...
I can check the
that's
minutes then.
Several $100s.
Okay, so I'll update again next month.
Okay. So, but it's
Sure.
on par with last year. So can we get a motion to approve the warrant?
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant.
Thanks, Joni.
Gratitude.
Second?
I'll second it.
All right, any more discussion about the warrant? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we can sign the warrant.
Excellent.
Okay, so I didn't have that in my head to check those, but I don't know why, I thought somehow they went out last time, but they did just get approved at the last meeting.
Yeah, and that
Okay.
totally escaped me. So,
Okay.
Let me,
So then, next month. Okay, so are we done with the treasurer's report? Lauren?
oh, I'm sorry?
Are we done with the
Yeah,
yours?
I'm
Okay.
all set.
Okay, thank you. Now, on to the library report. Adele?
So for August, we had 10 new patrons join the library. And we had 4, which is really good compared to past months. We had 413 checkouts and 439 visitors and 83 checkouts from Libby. We had a Death Cafe on August 23rd and 6 people attended. And our next one will probably be in October, but we haven't determined time or date yet. So we will see how that goes. And then Nina and I have been discussing about her taking over story time. She decided to do story time twice a month, but she named it Wonder Makers, and she had her first class on August 30th, and we had 3 children attend.
And like
And then-
10 parents.
10 parents, a lot of grandparents.
Grandparents, family.
And on Saturday, which Bob had mentioned, we had Veep and Brock here, which they gave a beautiful presentation and workshop for everybody. It was about electrification and energy, efficient houses, and things to like put in a split if you wanted air and heat. And just different, and they had all these workshops, we had food, and it was very successful, and Brock wants to come back and do their own presentation, since it was, that's okay. Since it was, they were kind of cut short because it was more of a Veep thing than than Brock. So Brock wants to come back and discuss all the things that they offer to Vermonters. And so we have a lot of meetings coming up that have booked the library. So we have the Pawlet Scholarship is tonight downstairs right after yoga. And then the Democratic Party is coming in on Tuesday the 16th, and then the Progressive Party is on the Sunday, I think I got this right, September 21st at noon. And so Nina's going to continue running the Wonder Makers, AKA Storytime, because Rachel, we couldn't get her back. Gretchen, I'm sorry. Because of her, she's got a new job and it wasn't going to fit into, and we bumped it to Wednesday because a lot of the homeschoolers had other prior commitments, and that's what we cater to more. So we decided to try it on Wednesdays, and then if we hopefully continue with the robotics, that will also be on Wednesdays, but more in the evening time or more later in the afternoon. So we'd have Wonder Makers and then robotics. And Wednesday's a great day because it's a very quiet day. So hopefully that would pull in more people to come in on Wednesdays, because Tuesdays are very busy. And Thursdays and Fridays.
And Saturdays.
And Saturdays. And yoga has only been running on Tuesdays for all summer. So Lisa May informed me that she will again pick up the Thursday yoga in the evening in October. And then our Halloween parade is coming, that's scheduled for October 25th. So did you want to add anything?
No, I gave them I just gave them my.
Usually we do it around 11 for the Halloween parade. I mean, it's an annual, so. Any questions?
Yeah, I was just, well, about the story time, so then is not.
We just changed the name to Wonder Makers. Yeah, just to
Well, feedback from kids is they don't want it to be called story time right now. Like they're like it's like a little kid for some of the kids that are joining. They're a little bit older, so I just changed the name, but we are reading books and we are making art, and it's still a story.
It's similar to, it's the same.
It's the same, but there's a art making component to the reading.
And this is separate from your work hours at the library, then it's on a different day that you don't normally work?
This would just be during work hours
Oh, it
at the
is.
library.
It's during work hours, so you don't have to pay extra for a storytime teacher.
Okay.
Like we had to pay last time.
Right, okay. So that,
We are, I don't know, hopefully when the new director comes in, maybe we could add a Saturday, but we would probably either hire out for that, but that would be maybe once a month. So I have a few people in mind that I was thinking would be great at it, so.
yeah.
But I haven't asked them yet, and they might not be available.
And it's every Wednesday, is that right? Or just
No,
every
It's
okay,
every
sorry.
other Wednesday.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, every other Wednesday.
Right. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Anybody else have questions for the director's report? No, okay. Thank you, Adele.
You're welcome.
All right, now we are on to the robotics program, and that is, sorry, Anne Marie.
Hey, you're up.
I was looking through here for this thing. So, Anne Marie.
All right, well, I presented two budgets for the next session. One is the bare bones budget and the other is the dream. So if you're doing fundraising, it would be nice to add iPads, laptops, and if we could boost the internet connection in the mat weight room.
Yeah.
Right now I can only get 2 on, and we need more than that.
Right.
I set up at least 4 centers that the participants work at. They even expand further, and there's a lot going on. So I'd also like to start including STEM projects, which will enhance their learning and help them. Robotics actually is part of STEM, so we're just giving them a broader experience. Well, where do you want to take this is my main thought. How do you want to do this?
Well, I actually had one question, which was Adele had mentioned that all of the schools offer robotics, and I was wondering if you coordinate with anybody, or is this something different than the schools offer, or is there kind of a robotics community that you guys all...
Well, the only person I've talked to is the Wells Robotics.
Okay.
And they're going to be a competition.
Competition?
So it'll be for older children.
Oh, they're competing in robotics?
Yes.
Okay.
Lego Spike.
Okay.
She hasn't started yet, and she's looking for more participants.
I know that the last session that Wells had was fully, their roster was full of participants, and they had a really robust program. I know some people in the community who participated and had a great time with it. And then we also participated in Pawlet with a robotic spike program this summer. But it seems like this is in the local area, like robotics, like people are hungry for it, and all the programs that are around are being robustly attended.
Right.
So I don't think it would take away to have one here. Like, it wouldn't be stepping on anybody's toes. It would just be another option for people in the area.
So little people.
Like, yeah, little people, because
And lower tech, which I think STEM will do, versus being, like, needing all the iPads, computers, and things. I think, like, kind of, I mean, not that robotics is under the umbrella, but that it would take away some of the costs, I feel like, having projects that are more hands-on.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to confer with the school and see what's happening there. We could actually work together somehow and bring one project over to the library for them to continue.
Yeah, that's kind of where what I was thinking, just so that we kind of all complement each other and work together, and offer things possibly that are a little bit different, and not competing. Did ours fill up this summer?
Yeah, we had 12 students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody have?
I know that it had been talked about in the past that, you know, having children from Meadoway being able to take the bus here in the afternoons and having the program so that it's one day a week that they are engaging here would be really beneficial, because that's a group that has historically, like, we've been trying to figure out how to make a bridge between us and Meadoway and get more school children here. And so this would be a way that would be a natural way for them to kind of engage with the library. You know, once they're here, they might be checking out books, or they might be just being in the space, which is always positive. So, and the robotics programs that are around, at least in Pawlet, and I think at this school, tend to be like ages 10 and up. And so having ones that either skew for the earlier grades, or having, you know, have it either be dual, you know, earlier grades and middle grades could be really beneficial.
Yes, and the other thing is, I would like to split the, in my dream version, split the ages.
Yeah, I saw that.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
You just offer such different things to each age group.
Yeah.
And would this be building on what happened this summer?
Yes, so we're moving forward.
So this is kind of taking the same group,
Continue. Yeah.
right? But somebody could come in who hadn't.
And also, I'm not an instructor, but I am there. I am needed to, because 12 students and one person in robotics is insanity.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I am learning a lot. So I'm just, I have a good teacher.
And we're hoping.
But I love the kids in them. So yeah, we're doing that. So
I got a little confused though, because I know in reading Anne Marie's proposal, I mean, I'm sure that you said that there's the, you know, minimum what you need and the dream ask, but but when we talked about low-tech, high-tech, is that separate from needing the iPads? Or is it the same thing? I got a little confused.
Well, low-tech would be, for example,
Like the drawings that you,
snap circuits,
snap circuits?
makey,
Yeah, anything hands-on.
cloth bits.
And then the higher tech would be with the iPads?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So,
Now, what I've been trying to think of, I've been bringing in my own iPad
Yeah, I
and
saw
computer,
that.
2 laptops. But what I was thinking, there must be a way to get I would love to do this, but we have older kids, a broken laptop. Something's wrong with the operating system, it's older. So what you do is you remove that program and you put something like Ubuntu or Lubuntu onto it.
and that could work.
And the participants themselves, yeah, then it would work. Do it all, they research it. And this is where I thought it might tie in nicely
Yeah.
with school.
Yeah. And what about, is there any way that like some of the kids could bring their own iPads if they had one?
Of
or-
course.
Yeah. Are they doing that probably? I'm sure some of them have.
We have
their own.
2 here that they've used in the past for the last robotics class, and they worked fine. They downloaded what they needed onto it for the robotics class. So, and it worked. We just need to boost downstairs so that we have better internet down there. And we were hoping or thinking that our next class would actually start October 1st. And, because it will be after school, the bus can drop the kids off. We will advertise with MetaWe. So.
I think the internet is through Vermont Tel, correct?
Yeah.
So they probably have boosters.
Yes, and we can call them tomorrow and.
Find out some prices.
Get it going.
Price, that would be
Well, I
good.
think we should figure out what it costs and.
I can email you all and let you know, and it probably won't be that expensive, I can't imagine, because we don't pay that much now for our internet service.
I think it's just a one-time cost too. I think
It might be,
Or a little transponder kind of thing.
yeah, like a repeater.
Yeah.
Is it okay to add something else to that? Just, there has been like some internet issues, so I might want to add. I've been standing on top of countertops a lot in the kitchen, trying to get the internet back to the library, and our router has kind of been identified as being really old.
Yes, so that needs.
And
it
he
needs
was like,
updating.
what? So, was it Vito?
Vito.
Oh, okay.
They were out already.
Yeah, because we called them.
Okay.
They called, that wasn't even,
Has Fidium come over here?
I don't know.
Because they're hard, switch to them and they're great if they have.
Do they have it in Pawlet? Is Fidium in Pawlet?
No,
They do
it's
have it in
in town.
Pawlet, but not everywhere in Pawlet. Like they don't have it. So I don't know if they would have it here or not.
They
but
would come by, most likely.
It's worth investigating.
Right.
Usually they go to their website and type in your address, and then they'll tell you if it's available there. But in any case, routers themselves, they're anywhere from $50 to $200, and
Right,
that can make there's a lot more safety with newer routers.
Right.
So it's a really good idea to invest in a new router. In fact, I would even make a motion to do that tonight. I think that's like,
We may not even have to pay for it if it's an up.
Yeah, it should be an
Yeah, he was
upgrade.
also saying things, I know it's open, but he was also saying there was kind of.
so there's your modem and then there's a router. The modem is something separate, you generally rent it, but the router is something that you can rent or purchase, and you don't have to rent that, and it can be
Okay,
more cost effective to buy it,
okay.
Yes.
especially when they last a long time, so.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we
We
really.
could make a motion like to investigate it or spend up to a certain amount. I just
How
think
about
that.
investigate? Yeah. I mean, then we
Because
know.
yesterday when I was doing the warrant, there were some real issues with the internet.
issues. I
It
had
would
the
say
same
you had internet and there was no internet, and it made it very complicated to try to communicate with everybody, so.
And it's like weather dependent, when there's clouds. Like, it really is. I'm like, oh my God.
No, that used to happen in my
I mean, we do have a
That
secure,
might itself help you the router might really help with the downstairs.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Right, so I really think that that should be our first line of action, especially if the veto tech said it was.
Did they have, would they,
No, I mean, you
we would buy it separately?
You
or-
can do it through VTEL and probably rent it,
Oh.
but I would probably just buy it at Staples,
Okay,
which is what I just did at home.
so would you help?
Yeah, I could totally help.
That'd be great.
I spent 200, but I felt like I was like kind of in the middle of the road, especially if you're doing things like robotics, you're gonna
Yes.
need.
And it's a public service.
Yeah.
To have the
And
internet.
we do have two separate internet services. So we have a private one that we're supposed to use, then we have an open Wi-Fi.
Right.
And it just keeps bumping you off and putting you on the open, and I can't work in that because the co-op's very private.
Yeah.
You know, so and then the printer doesn't work if it's on one Wi-Fi compared to the other one. It's chaos.
Do you know what internet speed we currently have and what we pay for?
I have no idea. I know that they set us up for 5G when they were talking about 5G coming in,
Okay.
and that was
Separate.
That's separate, but it may be
Be at least a
behoove
gigabyte,
us
I
to
would
look at
imagine.
getting, like, figuring out what our,
Test speed.
Yeah, you
figure
can
out what
look
our
it up.
bandwidth is currently, and then like, if we have people who are telecommuting or using our area for Zoom or, something like that, we want to make sure that we have a robust connection so that people it's not frustrating.
right. And it's a secure connection for library use, and then,
Right.
Sure,
open.
that's what the guy was saying. It was security. He's like, might be a little.
Could you
Yeah.
check and find out what,
Yes,
what
most definitely.
I can call.
our bandwidth is?
We'll do this
We want to
tomorrow.
have to actually go.
Well, I think it is worth talking to Vermont Telephone and finding out what we have and what they offer.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I
okay.
think that if we
So-
were able to say that we had multiple users, we'd like a connection that can do Zoom seamlessly and, support a robotics program, and ask, what would be a reasonable amount of connectivity for us to have that would be.
Okay, and then not bring that to the next meeting, I guess, then. Yeah. It would-
So is it all,
You could let us know
Yeah.
too, but yeah.
so do you want to do that, Adele?
yeah,
Okay,
we'll do
great.
it tomorrow. So back to robotics, so we are tentatively scheduled to start October 1st. Is that fine with the board? We start with what we have. We can get a few more kits. I'm buying a STEM book to continue to offer.
Anything for that in the budget at all?
Well,
Yeah, that'd be good.
so the
it would
budget would
just
be programs.
Yes.
Sorry.
The budget would be under programs.
It's wonderful, and I really think that it's something that benefits a lot of people. I just feel like kind of the board is veering into director work to expand, I don't know, the program. So I was confused about the first one is this is what, building on what we already have and sort of having more than what we already have.
Yes.
This first, which was the snap circuits, masking tape, etc. And then the next one was the dream. Yes.
Yes,
Newly added resources. Okay.
yes.
Which was kind of, yes, it was a dream.
Higher ticket, I
Yeah,
guess.
much higher, yes. And you see that down the line, that's kind of like what would be necessary to have it be a good program.
Depends on how much it expands,
Okay,
yes. But these would be wonderful to have, and again, it depends on who's in there and what they're interested in. There's so many variables.
right. Do you have information about that? Like what, I guess, more of just in the words, like what this program would do? How it would build on, it's building on the last one.
Skill-wise.
Yeah, right, some kind of data that we would work off of, or some information that's like that, I guess.
Well, did you get the, which is very important,
The diagrams?
the diagrams?
Yes.
That's the main thing. You're teaching children how to think,
Okay.
not to give up, to keep going. I'm using lay terms. I think it's very important.
Oh, yes, I do. I agree.
Resiliency, yes. We got huge feedback from the first one. The
Yeah.
parents loved it, the kids were just loved it, and they couldn't wait to go to the next class.
And this one would be an after-school one then?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it has to be, most of them were.
3:30 to 5. One day, it would be 1 day a week for 8 weeks. We figured it would start October 1st and take us to Thanksgiving.
Corey.
Yes, sorry. Oh, hi, Joanne.
I'd like to congratulate this woman for bringing this type of program into the Pawlet community.
Yes.
We have a lot of potential here, and what she's doing is what this community needs. We see programs for preschoolers, we see programs for adults and the seniors, but we're missing on the elementary school, and that's what she's doing. And I think you should support her as much as you can to advance these programs. If you can get busloads of kids to come over here, then you're bringing more and more families into this library.
Right.
So I don't know her, I don't know her program, I just read about it. But I think it's a fabulous thing to do, and a lot of the libraries are beginning to run STEM programs. You're not conflicting with the schools, you're adding.
Right.
And you'll be adding to the community.
I suppose that's what I was hoping, like, I would like to work with them and kind of in lockstep, basically.
I also like to mention that September is library card sign-up month, and somehow that should be promoted.
Thank you. And I think that maybe sometime a robotics for adults might be a fun class. I mean, yes.
Well, then you want those higher ticket items.
Okay. Maybe not. I don't know about me. I don't know. I'm like, just like fiddling with this.
Well, that's where fundraising comes in. And
Right, so that kind of locks
robotic letters to manufacturing.
Right, so that, yes, so should we just move to that kind of seamlessly, I think, of every, okay.
How many weeks
It's 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
It starts October 1st, it's a Wednesday, so it'd be every Wednesday until just before Thanksgiving, it would be the last.
And so for this first one, the cost would be about $773.
Yeah, and
If we did that, that would be the, 1.5 hours a week labor
Yeah.
for Anne Marie. Yeah.
And we don't have to buy all the kits all at once.
No. Okay.
So we can
Right.
buy them gradually as well.
Right, would you, I guess, do an advanced sign up and then you would know
Yes,
if you had
yes.
need for other people?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and this would be, this is under programs for the budget.
Okay.
I don't know offhand where we are with that, but I don't think we are, I think we're okay.
Oh, but I can try to find out.
I think we are. So Joni, yes, your fundraising letters?
Sure. So this summer, when we first initially spoke about this, I spoke to Anne Marie, and we had a lovely conversation about, you know, what this program could be and what the hopes were, and what we hope to bring to this community and to the children in this community. And my impulse, I asked the board if I could fundraise, and I was given the green light to fundraise. And after speaking to Anne Marie, it was clear to me that, you know, asking local manufacturers would be a great idea, because these children are going to be the future workforce, who are going to be the engineers and the designers. And so it would be a great way to connect with the community and ask local manufacturers. And I've identified about 14 local manufacturers that would be, that we could ask and do an appeal to. And it was my thought that rather than asking for the minimum amount, that it would be a really great idea to ask to do the dream amount, because otherwise, if this program is wildly successful, we're going to have to go back to these people with hat in hand and ask them again. And that's never, you know, like, that's always it's easier to buy into a dream than it is to continually open your checkbook. And so my initial thought was that we asked for $5,000 because that would fund this program, would give us high quality, new equipment to use rather than having to rely on used and possibly broken equipment. It would allow us to have robust staffing, and it would allow us to really launch this program in a way that was meaningful rather than kind of take halting steps. And so when I brought this to the board, there was some discomfort with that, and I was asked to only do the initial amount that was asked, the $1,102. So on one hand, I have a $5,000 ask, and in that ask, I built different tiers that the manufacturers could choose. They could choose to be a creative spark investor and invest $150 to $749. They could be a code and circuit champion with $750 to $1,499, or a master builder with $1,500 plus. And with each of these things, you know, there would be community engagement. The kids would send them pictures, you know, drawings of robots, or they would send them a thank you. And it would be a way that we could connect not only to the children in our community, but also to the adults and businesses in our community. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I'm asking today that the board really consider letting us do a bigger appeal rather than asking for the bare minimum, considering letting us to ask for more, because I really think that we could do great things, and whoever the next director is coming in would then inherit a program that is funded and that is staffed, funded, and has full equipment. So, I mean, I think that for any director coming in, that's a benefit. That's, you know, you're not going to turn away a fully funded program. So I'd like to make a motion. I would like to ask for a motion to be made. I don't feel like I can make the motion to allow me to do an appeal to the local manufacturers.
Well, I know that we did have the motion, we actually did authorize you to do the 1,000 already, so that to me, I mean...
It wasn't clear when that motion was made. I said I would like to do an appeal.
We actually had a number.
There wasn't a number in the minutes, and so, or at least that I could find, and so I wasn't trying to overstep when I wrote that appeal before. I feel like I'd like to ask the board to at least allow me to do the large ask that Anne Marie is saying, because we don't know if all the manufacturers are going to be willing to fund us. But I think that if you ask big...
Can you pass me the paperwork again, Joni? Sure. I printed both of them out, and then I had a major water spill on my table yesterday, and a lot of stuff got ruined.
Can I look at one, and while you look at
I want to see the larger one. I just want to see the bolstered one.
This one. Yep.
Thank you. So it looks like also, and this is great and a lot of hard work, and I appreciate that. It looks like also you've incentivized as the tiers go up to some more, you know, like advertisement or their logo on the materials, the website, social media, which is good. I kind of wanted to see what that was looking like.
The other thing that I did was I talked to Jen over in Wells, who does our graphics and our and I spoke to her and asked if this was something that the board would be interested in. You know, a lot of times with my sister's store, she's like, if people would give me something, if they would give me a cap or they would give me a cup, you know, it would be something that I could sit on my desk and, you know, it gives a good feeling. And so I spoke to Jen, and she said that she would be willing to run small batches if we did get somebody who was in the $1,500 realm to get us a cap that said, you know, Pawlet Public Library Robotics Club with a little robot icon, and they could design it for us for free. And it would be an inexpensive token that we could give out to large donors to say thank you. And so within that cost, I did build in incentives, and most of them I tried to be as cost effective as possible. Things that the children can do, handwritten thank you notes, or if parents were comfortable, you know, a video of the children using the robotics with a thank you note on a video showing that, a video that they could send so that they could, you know, on a Friday afternoon meeting, the manufacturing team could show their employees that the STEM project in action. So,
Have you thought about approaching businesses that you know, utilize, like, you know, employees with STEM talent?
yes,
We listed
that's like,
those. Yeah.
so like,
List those.
yeah, like, especially like I thought engineering firms, manufacturing firms, production firms, people who are the makers in our society was who I was really focusing on.
I'll make a motion to accept Joni's Big Ask fundraising campaign.
Thank you.
Second that.
You guys want to discuss it any
More
further?
discussion?
I'll be a $1,500 person.
Wow.
That way.
Wow.
Chills.
You're amazing.
Chills.
Jeez.
That's amazing.
Okay.
So much.
So do we, that's a discussion and that's,
There's an incentive.
yes, okay. Do we need
Same.
more discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. There you go. Thank you, Joni. Okay. All right. So next we have discussion and action on our donations policy. First is any update on the paintings? Nope. Okay. And then the second, I had.
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
Skip came in today and asked if there was any updates.
Nope.
Okay.
So, okay, but the prints, sorry, the next one is prints, and so this came up, I just had a realization that we did not do a formal donation arrangement with Lucy for the prints that were donated to the library, or, because the library was in possession of the prints, but you donated frames for that, is that right?
No, we paid her for the frames.
Or, sorry, mats. You donated mats for the...
And time.
Yes, but I don't know that time gets
No.
a letter or a recognition.
I go to thrift shops all the time, and if I see a mirror, I buy it.
Right.
Because I want it for my bathroom. I have all these mirrors in my bathroom. But if I see a frame that's looks like the right size for a picture in a book, then I'll get that. And if it costs $2, I just don't feel I need to. That's definitely my contribution. And do I have a list? No.
Right, so that's what my thinking was, that we do need, I think, to have you just say, I'm donating these like the parts, the mat and or whatever it is that you provide.
The mats, the labor,
Right, so
glue,
yes, well, I mean, I think that the supplies might not necessarily be, but the actual, something that is being sold, a part of what we are selling, we need to be in ownership of it. That was what I got from the lawyer that I spoke to about the paintings, and then I realized with these prints, that it might not be clear whose property it is, and it is the library's to sell.
I mean, the pictures come from the donated books.
Right. Right. And so like, I believe you had donated the mats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just wanted, and no, actually,
No, we
we
paid her for the
purchased the frames.
Yeah.
But, so I just wanted to make sure that we were following our policy on that donation, so that we know that we have the ability to sell them as a library.
Right.
So I guess, we can just work that out with you.
I think at the same time, we should try to itemize them, so we have
Oh, right, yes, we could do that as
an
well.
understanding of what the value, and how they're priced, and how many we have.
That makes sense, yes.
I will.
Are they in the library, or are
Yeah, they're
they?
downstairs.
They're downstairs
Okay.
in boxes.
Okay.
I can't do it until I'm gone for most of September.
Okay. I think we could do it too. Or you would know which frame you donate, or which mat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is I'll put a whole report together
Okay,
when I come back
that'd be great.
Thank you.
in October.
Thank you so much. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay. All right. Here we are. So this next item is discussion on the Libraries Transforming Communities grant. And as I mentioned, the select board said that we should start with the Vermont Preservation Society, yes, and ask them.
Historic preservation.
Yes. Ask them for a guideline on how to proceed with the steps.
Oh, the front steps?
Yeah.
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 There's also, when I spoke to Greg Combs, he said that they would be a good place for us to, a resource for us for grants, because we are a historical building. They may be willing, they may have grants that are available to us as well, that I know that right now we're, with the director being on the horizon, but just to find out what we have so that when we get a new director, we can hit that ground running, maybe a good step to take.
Okay, would you be willing to reach out to, I'm sorry that I don't know the name
That's
of it.
fine, yes, I
This
can do that.
Department of Historic Preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This
To ask
is
for
the
this-
town's building.
right.
It's not our building.
It is,
And-
right.
And the steps, are they attached to the building or are they not attached?
I don't know, I mean, if they're yeah.
I think that just,
But they're not historic.
Right.
but I think that just knowing what the proper like, because they may have, because the building itself is historic, there may be only certain things that we can use on the steps to preserve the historic look of the step. So it may be worth just checking.
You can check.
The select board said.
And they shouldn't care.
So,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No.
I was just gonna say, so motion to have Joni reach out to them on the behalf of the board for the.
Meg Campbell, is that?
Yes,
Meg
that's who it
Campbell.
is, that is.
Yeah, is who you talk to.
Is she from this area?
No, she's up in Montpelier area,
Okay.
but she's the one who inspects these buildings.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
I will, would you call her directly or would you call the main office and then?
I think I'd email her, but I'll see if I've got her email.
Do you want me to make a motion in the meantime?
Yes.
We'll make a motion to ask Joni to reach out to the Department of Historic Preservation and inquire about the steps.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any more discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Joni.
Look it up.
Okay.
Thank you. If you want to just, if you could just email me. Yeah, thank you.
All right, next, so it's discussion, action, plan board policy and bylaw review, including policy on board decorum, clarification of board roles. So my thinking is that we would put, I wanted to look at a work plan, and I found some old ones for the board so that we know, kind of have a process of how we work during the calendar year, what projects we take on. I think sometimes those things happen earlier, like in the organizational meeting time, and I want to give some thought to this, and all of us to have some thought into this, because there's a lot, and like Grace had pointed out, the bylaws seem to contradict the rules of procedure at times. It's a little confusing to which one to work with. So I think I have the 2021 rules. No, I don't have it here. But I would like us to put this on the agenda for the next meeting to actually, we'll plan it now to have it talked about at our next meeting, come up with a goal for what we would like to do, or how to start it, how to organize this.
So what's our what's our assignment?
Just to agree to put this on the agenda, and it's possible, look at the work plan, and to,
Should we look at rules of procedure as well?
yes, I didn't put that on
The
here,
work
but yes.
plan, will you send us a copy of that?
I think,
Or we can access it somewhere?
It's here, I think it's 2021, the one I found, and I don't have it electronically, but I can copy it and put it into a document.
So give thought to this before next.
Yeah, so I think that and we want to tie it back to our, mission statement, vision, even we can look at our operating norms, but I think that they're pretty standard, but just work through all of this.
Is that something you could send to us? The work plan?
I have just a copy of it, but I found it in the director or the board book in here, so I can make copies and make a PDF. Yeah, exactly. And I can send one that we have for the school board to see, so you guys can see how that works.
That would be great.
I know that in the past you discussed maybe having like a whiteboard so we could have a visual, and that would be really helpful, I think, or something that is
calendar of ours, a work calendar. Yeah.
Just so that it's because sometimes either paper or digital, like in this format, it's easy to get lost. But if we were able to have something in a larger, like a larger poster board size, or I really like that idea.
Right.
You said that, Corey.
And then to me, I'm visual like that too. So then you can plot things out so you can see, okay, this, the book sale takes up so much effort that we have to block off that time, I don't even know how much time around it. And we're not effective doing other things. Like I was looking back at all of these minutes and some things sometimes fall off, and I would like us to be intentional and purposeful about our work.
May I also make an appeal again, for the handbook, the employee handbook that I started last year when we were in the hiring process. I just feel like now that we're in this hiring process, it really should be something that we take up, because it just allows comfort for both the board and the employee to have clear communication, like this is what our expectation is. And I know it's unwieldy and I know it's a lot, but if we could just, it would just give us a way to understand what our expectations are and then communicate them so that there's not a misunderstanding or resentment. And so if that's something that we could possibly take up in the next month or two, I really think that it is something that we absolutely need.
Well, I actually have been in communication with our lawyer for the hiring process, and that is something I communicated to the board. That is part of the paperwork that they would want to look at. So,
the draft we have is like 39 pages.
I know.
Right.
And they have more of a boilerplate, simple one that they use for municipal organizations. But that is part of that.
Was she going to send you a copy of that?
Yes, I will ask for that. She did ask me to, and this is kind of moving to this is the number 13, our next thing. So can we just go back to just agreeing to put on the agenda for next meeting, working through some board policy and bylaw review, a work plan I will distribute, and a policy possible on board decorum. The clarification of board rules is probably through the bylaw review and the rules of procedure.
I wanted to add, under the discussion of board decorum, I would really like us to continue the work that Lauren had started this summer, that we were charged with last year in August by Julie Mack, for board mediation. I really feel like we've made strides, but there's still a lot of work to be done for clear communication and for us to be the best governing body that we can be.
Yeah.
And I really feel like, as again, I keep bringing up the new director, but as we're going into this new directorship, having a board that is fully able to communicate and work together is so important. And I feel like having a neutral third party would be so helpful to be able to do this work so that we are starting fresh and that we are on our best forward foot, rather than in this place where we're kind of in a space of lingering resentment and the dysfunction that we have come out of as a board. I think it would just be so helpful moving forward.
I actually spoke with Andy Robinson, I think less than 2 weeks ago. He was the one who gave a talk about healthy boards.
How to build a better board.
How to build a better board. And he gave me the names of a couple of different individuals. So if the board wants to vote to approve me reaching out and at least getting 2 recommendations with the price point, I can bring that to our next meeting.
Okay. Do you have a motion for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great.
Can you make a motion for?
So moved.
Thanks.
I would like to make a motion to ask Lauren to please do an exploratory finding of what mediators are available to us and how much the price point would cost
Yeah.
in a.
I already have the names, so.
Great.
All right, thank you. Second.
Okay, I'll second it.
All right. Any more discussion about this? I think that sounds good. I think we are all on that same path. That has been my goal the entire time, and I feel really positive about the work we have done. So I think that we're in a good place to improve it even more.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Do we vote? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. No opposed. So thank you, Lauren. Okay, now we're on to this discussion action, hiring committee update, hiring timeline, and next steps. So, as I mentioned, I spoke with council about going forward with hiring, and they want to review our documents. I sent our job description, the contract that we had last year, and that might be it. And they want that the employment agreements, but they also suggested that we work and align with the town's offerings, because in that contract it was a little bit out of whack with what is sort of the norm as far as PTO or holidays we need to spell out in our contract. So we need another meeting to align ourselves and go forward with an offer package. No matter who the candidate is that we make an offer to, we need to be able to have documents to send with it, like you were saying, like that agreement should be part of our offer. So any person would know what they're coming into. And I did send the evaluation. That's what I did. I sent the evaluation form, and then I realized I was looking through the minutes that we did not adopt it. We just said we'll look at it and use that to work off of, but we did not adopt, to my research, we did not adopt an evaluation policy.
Okay.
Oh. So that would be part of a meeting, just to talk about that. And get all of those kind of ducks in a row. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we don't necessarily have to have an action on that, I will I'll attempt to schedule something with the board.
With the evaluation that we didn't adopt, was that just for the director, or was that for also all the evaluations that we came up with?
I think it was, I don't know for sure. I was just looking for the director. And then, but as far as if we adopted it, I mean, we can look back too I didn't have time to look through the video of our meetings. But what I saw was not reflected in the minutes. So, okay. So I will then just be scheduling it will be probably another special meeting, and I will be in touch with that scheduling.
May I ask a question about the process?
Sure.
I'm wondering when we're going to call references, because it seems like we are down to 2 finalists, and it seems like something that would be logical, but it seems like that hasn't been discussed, that we have not yet vetted our candidates.
Yes, I did bring that up. It is sort of late. Some people, I think I'd asked last year, some people do that at the end because to sort of spare resources, so they're only doing that for the actual people that they, or the one person. Yeah. So that it also could be part of our talk in the hiring meeting. But yes, that is something we do need to do a background check and checking references.
Will we be
and I think I think it's generally accepted that an offer is, based on a clean, check of those, so.
Will we be checking only, that's okay. Will we only be checking the personal references given, or will we also be calling previous employers just to do a check of like, a basic check, like when I've been employed in the past, people have called my employers and said, can you tell me, was this person indeed employed between this date and this date? Can you state, just because I just feel like both of those things are, common, and I just wanted to know like where we are and like what is our plan.
Well, we didn't actually state that. We did ask for references, and I believe both candidates provided them. We didn't discuss if it's, I think that would, then we could discuss that as well. Okay. I can ask the questions that we can ask, because I know for asking employers, there are different questions that you can ask than personal references, right? It's something along the lines of verifying dates, and I think, are they eligible for rehire? Maybe, I don't know for sure.
I think that those would be.
Those are the only two that but I haven't ever hired anybody, so I will verify.
Yeah. Thank you.
And, yeah. Okay. So, are we on then to the library report to the select board? We'll have a lot to talk about. I will definitely talk about the robotics and that we are trying to bolster the program.
I'm sorry.
Do we have? Oh, okay. Thank you, Mike.
I want to just share. I thought the board did an excellent job discussing all the candidates.
Thank you.
In a very free and open forum.
Thank you.
And I think it was great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so what else? I don't know. What else do we tell the board, the select board? Anybody have anything we would like to go forward with? Hiring?
Were you going to ask about,
the windows, he did say that he's still checking out how they can be done. And Tom, these facilities. We had asked about how to be able to have them washed, and if we needed somebody, and he's still looking into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can keep on that, yeah. And I told him about the hinges that we saw, and he said it would still need, I
was looking at them again, and I'm wondering if they were not turned to begin with, because they could be tricky.
He said they could be painted in place like that as well.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Anything else for the select board? Okay. So robotics and just.
were you going to ask them anything about the employment agreement?
Oh, that is, so that I have to do tomorrow. I have to go in and get that.
Okay.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
That's separate, not from the meeting, but just to see, so that we are, and I had asked before, but I didn't ask it in the right way, I suppose, but we want to align with the town, and we don't want to be out of whack with what the town offers employees, so, yeah. And their policy as well. I think I actually do have a copy of that, but just a paper copy, so I can ask if they have something that I could send to the lawyer if we need it. Okay. Okay, well. Are we ready for the reflection on our operating norms? Okay, Sue, do you want to read them? How about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Focus on agenda items, topics. Be open-minded, respect each other, value different viewpoints, be responsive and responsible to our community, referencing the strategic plan. Make decisions based on data and facts, listen to each other, be reflective, run a meeting that respects time, has a concise agenda, and is transparent.
Does anybody have any reflection on that or any thoughts? No? I feel like we did do a good job on the respecting time. It was my intention since we have had a lot of meetings, so, but also listening and hearing everybody and having thorough discussions. Anybody else? No? Okay. Open up to public comment. Hi, Gordon.
So if you're going to be taking more time on the offer, does that mean the hiring is going to be delayed? And if so, what rough timeline could you give us?
I don't think it would be delayed, they would kind of go hand in hand. I don't know an actual timeline, I didn't work that out, but we do have our meetings tomorrow, so that would be after those meetings. I don't think we can handle another one. So we'll just, I mean, like I've said, we've been working to do this as quickly as we can, but as thoroughly as we can, so.
Are there 2 interviews tomorrow or just one?
Yes, 2. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I needed to send you another agenda. I think I forgot to. Okay.
Barbara.
Oh, sorry, Barbara.
Are these second interviews for the candidates or these first interviews?
These are first in person. We did do a written question that we submitted, so that was sort of like an interview, but this is in person.
5 questions. Weren't there 5 questions?
There are 5.
There were 5 written.
Wait, I don't know about the written. I don't remember how many.
There were several.
And it's come down to 2 candidates now?
Yes. Any other public comment?
Does the entire board interview the candidates? Yes. Mm-hmm. Is the committee also there?
No, it's just the board.
Just the board.
Yeah. The committee made the recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, as per a commenter's question earlier, will there be a time when the staff does get to have a meeting with the candidates?
We didn't arrange that. So, I don't know, I think that we can talk about that, but we haven't have that in place, right? I mean, we all have talked about this.
We agreed on how we were going to do it, how we were going to interview.
I feel like I feel like this has been kind of a rolling process. I don't feel like anything has been set in stone, and so it feels like it could be appropriate to be able to have more input. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
the committee can talk about it.
Right, we might be able to figure that out after the interviews, probably, like I say, in that other meeting where we're talking about the hiring process too.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Joanne. Yes.
I think the board has done a very good, excellent job of taking care of this whole hiring process. They have looked at every step very carefully and have progressed along, not too quickly. I really thought things would be wrapped up by now, but I think we should applaud them for being so careful, making sure that they're going to find the right fit for our community and to bring someone in here that is going to make this a very vibrant, active library.
Thanks. Thank you.
I think that they've done a good job. And as far as the hiring committee was brought in, I think that should be clarified, was brought in to review the questions, but when we brought up the discussion as to whether we should be in on the interview process, you all agreed that it was the board's job.
Right.
To take care of the interviews.
Yeah. Yes.
And yes, definitely.
Thank you, Joanne. Any other public comments? Okay, seeing none, our next meeting is October 7th, next regular meeting, October 7th at 6 PM. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. We're adjourned at 7:25. Thank you, everybody.